I'm grateful you found your way here. There is something happening inside your mind right now. Something most people are too distracted to ever notice. Tonight, the very device you may have used to find this video holds a secret about you. A quiet loop your brain set in motion without asking your permission. By the time this journey ends, you may understand a part of yourself that has been gently working against your rest for longer than you realize. And that understanding, soft as it is, may be the beginning of something changing. Right now, your body is already beginning to settle. Your breathing is a little slower than it was an hour ago. There is a gentle heaviness somewhere behind your eyes. Not quite sleep, but something leaning toward it. You exist in that tender space between the world and rest, and something in you already knows it. You'll discover the gentle, fascinating science of why the screen you reach for in moments of tiredness is often the precise thing keeping sleep just beyond your reach. And understand that this is not a failure of willpower. It is biology, doing exactly what it was designed to do. Welcome to Midnight Psychology. Wherever you are right now, perhaps lying in the quiet of your room with soft darkness pressing at the edges, or tucked beneath blankets while the night settles outside. Allow yourself this moment of curiosity. We'll journey through 50 psychology and neuroscience facts about your phone and sleep. We'll begin by exploring what your phone actually does inside your brain and nervous system after dark. Then we'll move gently into why. Even when we know we should stop, the scroll continues. We'll discover who is most drawn into this pattern and why. And finally, we'll walk softly toward healing, toward reclaiming your nights as the restorative space they were always meant to be. This channel is a sanctuary. It exists for one sleepy soul at a time, for you tonight in whatever state you arrived. There is nothing to achieve here, nothing to memorize, nothing to perform, only something to quietly receive. And now, let your body settle just a little more. Feel the surface beneath you. Your weight held gently, supported completely. Let your shoulders drop if they haven't already. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands rest open and uncurled. You don't need to hold anything right now. The sounds around you, near or distant, become texture, soft background to the quiet space of your mind. Thoughts may arrive. Let them drift past like slow clouds across a dark and patient sky. You don't need to follow them anywhere tonight. Your heart is beating steadily. Your lungs are breathing without effort. Your body already knows what to do. All you are asked to do is listen, softly, without trying, without achieving anything at all. Let these words settle over you like something warm, like the last slow exhale before the world goes quiet. There is a small gland nestled deep in the center of your brain, the pineal gland, no larger than a grain of rice. In the darkness, it releases melatonin, the hormone that carries your body towards sleep. But when light enters your eyes, even a gentle glow, this gland pauses. It waits. It recalibrates. And this is where your phone begins its quiet interference. The light that comes from your screen is not just any light. It is weighted heavily toward the blue end of the spectrum. Wavelengths your brain has evolved to associate with midday sunlight, with alertness, with the signal that the day has not yet ended. Researchers at Harvard Medical School found in 2014 that blue light suppresses melatonin production for nearly twice as long as green light, shifting your internal clock in ways your conscious mind never registers. Your circadian rhythm, that elegant biological clock embedded in a cluster of neurons above your optic nerves, depends on light cues to know when to prepare you for rest. When you scroll through your phone in bed, this clock reads the signal and does exactly what it was designed to do. It keeps you awake, not out of stubbornness, out of obedience to ancient instruction. The cognitive stimulation your phone provides runs alongside the light effect. A study from the University of California, San Francisco, in 2017 found that the mental engagement of reading social media content raised measurable markers of cognitive arousal, heart rate, skin conductance, signs that the brain had been called into active, attending mode. Your phone also activates the amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center. Even mildly provocative content triggers a small cascade of cortisol, the stress hormone, and cortisol is chemically opposed to sleep. Where one rises, the other recedes. Notched sounds, even unread ones, affect your sleep architecture. Research published in Sleep Medicine in 2016 demonstrated that auditory stimuli during pre-sleep periods significantly reduced slow-wave sleep, the deep, restorative phase where your body repairs tissue, consolidates memory, and resets its stress systems. Your retinal ganglion cells, specialized photoreceptors, particularly sensitive to blue wavelengths, send direct signals to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock of your biological rhythms. Even 5 minutes of bright screen exposure within an hour of your intended sleep time can delay sleep onset by up to 30 minutes. Your brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for judgment and emotional regulation, is among the first to be affected by poor sleep. And yet, this is the same region you rely on to decide when to put the phone down. There is a gentle irony in this. The tool that disrupts your sleep gradually impairs the very thinking needed to choose differently. The body's core temperature naturally drops in the evening as part of sleep preparation. Emotional or cognitive stimulation from phone use delays this cooling. Researchers at the University of South Australia found in 2019 that even moderate evening screen use was associated with measurably elevated core body temperatures at bedtime. And yet none of this means you are broken. Your brain is responding precisely as it should to a stimulus it was never designed to encounter at midnight. This is not failure. This is biology meeting an environment it could not have predicted. What you scroll toward in those quiet nighttime hours is not random. your brain's reward system. The mesolimbic dopamine pathway has been carefully studied by designers who understand its architecture better than most users do. Each notification, each like, each new piece of content triggers a small dopamine release. Not large enough to satisfy, but large enough to generate the desire for more. This is the same neurological loop that underlies certain forms of compulsive behavior. And here, at our 12th fact, we arrive at a quiet synthesis. In these ideas so far, we have traced something remarkable. Your phone does not keep you awake through force. It keeps you awake through conversation. A conversation with your oldest, most responsive neural systems. Your brain is not weak. It is exquisitely responsive to signals designed by some of the most sophisticated behavioral scientists alive today. You were never simply failing to put the phone down. You were navigating something genuinely neurologically powerful. The fear of missing out. FOMO is a measurable psychological state. A 2013 study published in Computers in Human Behavior defined it as the pervasive apprehension that others might be having rewarding experiences from which one is absent. At night, when the social world continues without you in streams and threads and stories, FOMO activates the same vigilance systems that once kept your ancestors alert to threats at the edge of the firelight. Loneliness plays a profound role. Research from Brigham Young University, analyzing data from over 3 million people, confirmed that social isolation carries significant biological stress markers. For people who feel lonely in the daytime, nighttime scrolling functions as a surrogate form of connection. Imperfect, unreciprocated, but neurologically soothing in the short term. Your phone often serves as an emotional regulation tool when anxiety rises in the quiet of the bedroom. When the mind begins to review the day's unresolved moments, reaching for the screen interrupts that process. A 2015 study from the University of Illinois found that problematic phone use was significantly correlated with anxiety and emotional dysregulation, suggesting the device has become a primary coping mechanism for many people. Boredom is also underestimated. The human brain finds the mild discomfort of doing nothing genuinely aversive. A study published in Science in 2014 demonstrated that many participants preferred mild electric shocks to sitting quietly alone with their thoughts. Your phone resolves this discomfort instantly, reliably, and without requiring anything but a thumb. Cognitive habits, well-worn neural pathways explain why the phone reaches your hand before you consciously decide to pick it up. The basal ganglia, the region governing habitual behavior, has encoded the bed plus phone sequence so thoroughly that the motion is nearly automatic. Neuroscientists at MIT describe this as a cue routine reward structure that operates below the level of deliberate choice. The content you engage with at night is disproportionately emotional. Algorithms optimized for engagement surface material that provokes, not necessarily negatively, but intensely, even joyful, Exciting content activates arousal systems that conflict directly with the deactivation your body needs for sleep onset. Your phone's social feedback, the numbers beside your posts, the reactions to your messages, taps into neural circuits activated by social evaluation in real life. Research from UCLA's Amundsen-Loveless Brain Mapping Center demonstrated in 2016 that viewing large numbers of likes activated reward circuitry in ways nearly identical to receiving social praise in person. The screen has become, for many, a ritual of belonging, a way of checking that the world still contains you, still notices you, still runs with your name somewhere inside it. This need is not shallow, it is ancient, and it deserves to be understood, not dismissed. There is a phenomenon that researchers have named revenge bedtime procrastination. It describes the pattern of staying awake late, scrolling, watching, browsing, not because you aren't tired, but as a way of reclaiming personal time that the demands of the day consumed. A study published in Frontiers in Psychology in 2020 found this behavior was particularly common among people who experienced low levels of autonomy during waking hours. The nighttime becomes the only time that belongs entirely to you, and the phone becomes the vehicle for experiencing that freedom. The design of social media platforms is not accidental. Former employees of major technology companies have described the deliberate implementation of variable reward schedules. The same principle used in slot machine design, scroll, and sometimes something interesting appears, and sometimes it doesn't. The unpredictability is precisely what makes the behavior persistent. BF. Skinner's research on variable ratio reinforcement demonstrated decades ago that this schedule is the most resistant to extinction. Infinite scroll, the feature that removes the natural stopping point of a page, was noted by one of its creators, former Google design ethicist Asa Raskin, as something he deeply regrets. He estimated in a 2018 interview that it costs the world approximately 200,000 hours of human attention every day. Your bedtime has, in a sense, been designed away, the retino-hypothalamic tract, a direct neural highway from your eyes to your brain's master clock, evolved to suppress melatonin in the morning when sunlight signaled the start of the active day. Your screen, emitting similar wavelengths at 11 at night, sends the same ancient signal. Stay awake, the day continues. Your biology cannot tell the difference between dawn and the glow of a feed. And here we arrive at our second milestone. 25 facts in, a picture has formed. One that is compassionate rather than critical. The phone does not keep you awake because you lack discipline. It keeps you awake because it has been built with enormous skill and significant investment to engage the most fundamental mechanisms of your social, emotional, and reward-driven brain. Understanding this is not an excuse. It is the beginning of genuine freedom. Your phone's screen brightness, even on its lowest manual setting, typically exceeds the lux levels your sleeping environment should maintain in the 2 hours before bed. Sleep researchers at Oxford University recommend lux levels below 10 in the bedroom before sleep. A typical phone screen on its lowest setting still emits between 30 and 50 lux, 3 to 5 times beyond that threshold. Multitasking with a phone creates what neuroscientists call dual task interference. Your attentional resources are split, and neither task is processed efficiently. But the subjective experience can feel like more living, more content absorbed, more time used, which makes it paradoxically difficult to stop, even when exhaustion is undeniable. The evening cortisol spike triggered by stimulating content shortens REM sleep, the phase in which emotional memories are processed and regulated. A study from the Max Planck Institute for Psychiatry in 2015 demonstrated that reduced REM sleep was associated with heightened emotional reactivity the following day, which made individuals more likely to seek emotional regulation through the same behaviors that had disrupted sleep, a quiet, circular pattern. Time distortion is another feature of phone use that operates without announcement. Research from the Digital Wellness Lab at Boston Children's Hospital found that adults consistently underestimate their screen time, often by a factor of 2 or 3. What feels like 15 minutes of pre-sleep browsing is frequently 45 or more. The habit of phone use in bed transfers the brain's association of the bed itself. Sleep science refers to this as stimulus control, the principle that the bed should be associated only with sleep and rest. When the bed becomes a place of stimulation, your nervous system stops treating it as a signal for rest. The body arrives in bed already uncertain about what this place now means. Before we continue, allow this moment to belong entirely to your body. Feel your breath moving slowly in and out. Notice where your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. The weight of your legs, the soft pressure at your shoulders and lower back. You don't need to change anything. Just notice. Just arrive. People with higher trait anxiety show measurably greater nighttime phone use. A study published in Cyberpsychology, Behavior, Found, and Social Networking in 2018 found that anxious individuals were significantly more likely to check their phones after waking during the night, using the device to assess whether anything had changed while they slept, as if the world required monitoring. This vigilance, while understandable, deepens both anxiety and sleep disruption in tandem. Perfectionists, individuals with high standards and significant fear of failure, show particular vulnerability to bedtime procrastination. Research from the Netherlands in 2021, published in Sleep and Biological Rhythms, found that perfectionism was a significant predictor of sleep-onset insomnia, partly because of the difficulty in allowing the day to end before every task felt resolved. The phone becomes a way of staying close to the unfinished. Introverts, despite their reputation for preferring solitude, are not immune. For those who spend their days in social environments that drain their energy, nighttime phone use can feel like a private, controlled form of social observation. Watching the world from behind glass without the cost of participation. Researchers at the University of Georgia noted in 2016 that introversion was associated with increased preference for asynchronous, screen-mediated social interaction. People who report lower life satisfaction during the day are consistently more likely to engage in excessive nighttime phone use. A longitudinal study from the University of Michigan, tracking over 200 participants, found that low daytime well-being predicted elevated nighttime screen time with remarkable consistency. The phone becomes, in these cases, not a luxury, but an emotional necessity. And recognizing that makes the pattern easier to approach with compassion. Gently rest your attention on your hands for a moment. Are they curled? Let them open. Feel the slight coolness of the air against your palms. Notice that your hands right now are doing nothing. They are simply resting, and this is enough. This is more than enough. Empathic individuals, those who feel others' emotions deeply, are particularly susceptible to social media content that documents suffering. Compassion fatigue, a state well studied in healthcare workers, has been observed at lower levels in empathic people who consume emotionally weighted content before sleep. The nervous system carries these residues quietly into the night. Individuals with ADHD show specific vulnerability to phone-induced sleep disruption. The dopamine dysregulation characteristic of ADHD makes the variable reward schedule of social media particularly compelling. Research from the Journal of Attention Disorders in 2019 found that among adults with ADHD, phone use in the hour before bed was one of the strongest predictors of next-day cognitive difficulty. Young adults who use phones in bed report higher rates of depressive symptoms. But the relationship runs in both directions. Depression increases phone use. Phone use worsens depression. The causality is not clean, and this matters. There is no simple beginning and no simple end. There is only a pattern that can, with gentleness, be gradually shifted. And here, at our third milestone, 38 facts in, we pause together. What has emerged is not a portrait of weakness. It is a portrait of sensitivity, of people who feel deeply, who carry much, who seek in the small blue light something the long day did not fully provide. The phone is not the enemy. It is a mirror reflecting needs that deserve to be met in gentler, more restorative ways. The most consistent finding across sleep research is simple. A phone-free hour before bed improves sleep onset time by an average of 26 minutes, according to a systematic review published in Sleep Medicine Reviews in 2021. This is not a small shift. Over a year, 26 minutes each night amounts to more than 150 hours of additional quality rest. The math of gentleness is generous. Warm light, amber, orange, red does not trigger the same melatonin suppression as blue light. Switching your bedroom lighting to warm tones in the evening is one of the simplest neurological accommodations you can make. A study from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute found in 2018 that amber-tinted glasses worn in the evening measurably improved sleep quality in participants with chronic insomnia. Journaling before sleep. Spending 5 to 10 minutes transferring the day's unresolved thoughts onto paper reduces the cognitive arousal that drives phone-seeking behavior. Research from Baylor University in 2018 found that writing a to-do list for the following day before sleep significantly accelerated sleep onset. The act of externalizing thought allows the mind to release its grip on vigilance. The body scan, a mindfulness practice in which attention is slowly moved through each region of the body, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, shifting the body toward the rest and digest state necessary for sleep. Researchers at Oxford's Sleep and Circadian Neuroscience Institute found body scan practices reduced sleep onset time in anxious participants by an average of 32%. Let your attention travel slowly now, from the top of your head downward. Your scalp loosening, your forehead uncreasing, your jaw dropping just slightly, your neck releasing, your chest rising and falling without effort, your stomach soft, your legs heavy and still, your feet resting, your whole body simply held. Physical books before bed consistently produce faster sleep onset than screen-based reading. A study from the University of Sussex found that 6 minutes of reading a physical book reduced physiological stress markers by 68%. More than listening to music, taking a walk, or drinking tea. The sustained, single-tasking attention of reading a page gently exhausts the restless mind. Charging your phone outside the bedroom is the single behavioral intervention with the highest reported success rate for improving sleep in adults. A 2020 survey by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine found that participants who moved phone charging outside their bedroom reported falling asleep faster, waking fewer times during the night, and feeling more restored in the morning. Without any other change, compassion toward your own pattern is itself a healing mechanism. Self-criticism about phone use activates cortisol pathways that worsen the very sleep disruption being criticized. Research from the University of Texas at Austin found that self-compassion practices, acknowledging difficulty without judgment, were associated with lower cortisol and better sleep outcomes across multiple populations. Gradual, incremental change outperforms strict digital rules. A meta-analysis from King's College London in 2022 found that people who implemented small, sustainable reductions in evening phone use over 3 weeks maintained those changes far longer than those who attempted immediate total elimination. Gentleness is not weakness, it is strategy. And now, the 50th fact, our final synthesis. Across these 50 ideas, a single truth has emerged. Your phone keeps you awake not because it is malicious, and not because you are careless. It keeps you awake because it speaks fluently in the language your nervous system was built to hear. Social connection, novelty, safety, reward. The path forward is not war against the device. It is learning, slowly, to meet those needs in ways that allow your nervous system to finally, gratefully rest. At its deepest level, your relationship with your phone at night is about something older than technology. It is about the hunger for connection in the silence. The ancient human fear of being left out, left behind, forgotten while the world continues without you. Every civilization that has ever existed created its own version of the campfire around which people gathered, not merely for warmth, but for the reassurance that they were not alone in the dark. Your phone is, in some ways, a distorted echo of that campfire, bright, warm in its simulation of social presence, endlessly available. And like firelight after midnight, it eventually becomes something that keeps you from the sleep your body desperately requires. There is a paradox here worth sitting with. The things you reach for when you feel most depleted, the scroll, the stream, the notification check, are often the precise things that deepen the depletion. This is not a moral failure. It is the nature of dysregulation. When the nervous system is overwhelmed, it seeks stimulation rather than silence. Understanding this paradox is not the same as being trapped by it. Awareness creates the first small opening through which change can quietly enter. The journey we have taken tonight, through biology and behavior, through neuroscience and compassion, has been tracing one thread. That rest is not laziness, that your body's need for sleep is not a weakness to be managed, but a requirement to be honored. And honoring it begins simply with being here, with having arrived at this moment, in this darkness, choosing something softer than the scroll. Rest is not something you earn. It is a biological necessity, as non-negotiable as water, as oxygen, as warmth. There is no productivity metric, no completed task, no message answered that justifies its denial. The culture you inhabit may whisper otherwise, may suggest that stopping is falling behind, that the busy and the always on are the ones who matter. That culture is, on this particular point, deeply and measurably wrong. You are allowed to stop, not because you have done enough, but because stopping is what your body requires to survive and to heal. You are allowed to let the unread notifications wait. You are allowed to let the scroll continue without you. You are allowed to be unreachable, unresponsive, present to nothing but the slow rhythm of your own breathing for the next several hours. This is not abandonment. This is stewardship of the one body and one mind you have been given to inhabit. The shame that sometimes accompanies rest, the nagging sense that you should be doing something, is a learned response. It was taught to you gradually by a world that profits from your engagement and loses nothing from your exhaustion. You are allowed to unlearn it, one quiet night at a time. Everyone who has ever lived has needed, everyone who has ever lived has needed sleep. In every era, on every continent, in every language ever spoken, human beings have lain down in the dark and surrendered to the same biological tide. The ancient Egyptian who rested beside the Nile, the medieval weaver who set down the thread at dusk, the child in a village that has no name in any history book. All of them arrived, as you have arrived, at this necessary threshold. You are not alone in needing this. You are, in this moment, one of the longest, most unbroken threads in the whole fabric of human experience. If sleep comes tonight, let it carry you the way a river carries a leaf, not forcefully, not urgently, but smoothly, inevitably, with a patience that has no interest in hurry. The river does not ask the leaf to swim. It simply receives it, and the leaf, releasing its grip on the bank, discovers that the current was always there, always gentle, always moving toward somewhere restful. Let yourself be that leaf. Let the current of your body's own wisdom carry you forward into the dark, into the quiet, into the place where analysis stops and restoration begins. You have been thinking long enough tonight. You have been engaged and alert and present in a world that asked much of you. Now the river is here. Now the current is moving beneath you. There is nothing left to hold. In these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Fill your lungs slowly, completely, all the way to the edges. Hold it just for a moment, and then let it go. All of it, every last bit of air, every last bit of the day, every last bit of everything that does not belong to this quiet, dark, restful moment. Let your entire being dissolve into the rhythm of rest. Not a thought, not a plan, not a worry. Only the soft pulse of a body that knows, without instruction, exactly how to heal itself in the dark. Let your edges soften. Let the boundary between you and the stillness become something you can no longer quite locate. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left. Only peace. If this exploration of your mind and your nights brought you some comfort tonight, some gentle sense of being understood rather than judged, perhaps share it softly with someone else who lies awake when they wish they didn't. Someone who reaches for the phone in the dark and wonders why they can't simply stop. They, too, deserve to understand themselves with this much compassion. But there is no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. Let that thought dissolve like the others, like morning mist dissolving in sunlight, quietly, without drama, without leaving anything behind. Let your breathing deepen on its own. Let your body feel heavier, as if the earth itself is rising gently to support you, as if gravity has become something tender tonight, something that holds rather than pulls. Your limbs are heavy, your chest is soft, your mind is growing slow and warm and beautifully, mercifully quiet. If sleep comes, let it carry you. Let it take you somewhere your phone cannot follow, somewhere the notifications cannot reach, somewhere the scroll has no meaning and the algorithm has no power. that place belongs entirely to you. If your eyes are still open, another video is already waiting. Soft, patient, ready to continue this gentle journey a little further into the night. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that holds you without asking anything from you. Stay in the silence that knows your name and requires nothing in return. Rest well, tired soul. Tonight, you chose stillness over the scroll, and your body is already grateful. Good night.